What's good, Steeler Nation? My name is Jack Sperry, and this is Steelers Talk. Thanks for spending part of your Wednesday to talk some Steelers football with us. We have a jam-packed show for you today. There's a big rumor going around right now that Matt Canada is expected to be fired by the Pittsburgh Steelers upcoming. We're going to be talking about that. And then I'm also going to be going into my list of potential Matt Canada replacements this offseason. The Steelers signed a linebacker last night, so we're going to be talking about who that is, how he could potentially help the Steelers in the upcoming weeks. And then there is some massive injury news across the National Football League that could definitely impact the Steelers' chances to make the playoffs, so stick around for that. But before we get into today's show, I'm going to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel here at Steelers Talk. We are on the road to 20K subscribers. Right now we have over 19,000 true cold-blooded Yinzers in the comment section that love the black and gold, that love the Pittsburgh Steelers. I try to make this show as interactive as possible so that your voice can be heard here on the show. And, we provide daily and free Steelers news and rumors content. We cover breaking news. We have all this stuff, everything that you need for your Steelers coverage. We have it here on Steelers Talk. So consider subscribing, joining our family, and help us get to 20K. All right, now we got a big rumor that came in this week, guys, or just yesterday, actually. Matt Canada is expected to be fired by the Pittsburgh Steelers at the end of the season. Andrew Filipponi broke the news on Twitter yesterday, and he said that his source inside the Steelers building says, "I fully expect a change to be made at the end of the season. The players know, the people inside the building know." And this is very interesting because there's been speculation about Matt Canada being fired since the very beginning of the season. Let's take a look at the Steelers' offensive stats for 2022, and they're just not great, guys. Like, with all the talent that the Steelers have on the roster, like 28th, 29th in points, 28th in yards per play. Red zone's not that great either. It's gotten better in the second half. And then on third down, the Steelers have actually been really good on third down, especially in the second half. They've been one of the best third down teams in the National Football League since the second half of the season started. So that's one of the things that they've actually done well. But here's the thing, guys. With the amount of talent and playmakers that the Steelers have on their roster right now, guys like Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Najee Harris, Pat Freiermuth, and then the rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett that can make plays for you as well. These guys, they're good players, right? The defense or the offense shouldn't be 29th in yards per play, right? They shouldn't be 30th in points or whatever it is, right? This is just, it's not Steeler football. If you have the talent, and the Steelers do, there's no excuses for Matt Canada. He's literally running a college offense right now, and firing him at the end of the season is absolutely the right move for the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion. It's just, he's not a good coach. He's a college coach, pretty much, guys. He's running a college offense. It's just not creative. NFL defenses know what he's running, and it's just the Steelers need a new start, a fresh start that can take advantage of the talent that's on the roster, because the Steelers have quite a bit of talent. All right, guys, go in the comments section right now and let me know. Should the Steelers fire Matt Canada at the end of the 2022 season? Type Y for yes or type N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So whenever you get an ad break here on the video, guys, just go right down to the comment section, find that pinned comment, and answer today's question. All right, now let's get into my list here of potential offensive coordinator candidates that could replace Matt Canada this year. Now, this isn't a list that's in any particular order, right? These are just guys that intrigue me and could potentially be good options for the Steelers moving forward. Darrell Bevell is my number one option. Okay, I really like Darrell Bevell, the QB coach out of Miami. He's got a ton of experience calling plays. He's won a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator. He's had a lot of experience working with young quarterbacks. And now, in Jacksonville and in Seattle, he was getting a bit outdated. So we went to Miami with Mike McDaniel, and he learned that new school offense there in Miami, that third-generation West Coast offense. And I think he could come to the Steelers and really bring that. I think that would be a great system for Kenny Pickett. There's some other names on here, Frank Reich. I think Brian Johnson, the QB coach out of Philly, would be fantastic. He's done some great things with Jalen Hurts. Nathaniel Hackett, we've talked about him on the show. I think he would be a solid option. Byron Leftwich, a former Steeler, might be a good option. Pep Hamilton, I think his system really fits the Steelers personnel really well as well. And then there's a couple people like Zach Robinson, Brian Griese, QB coaches in that McVay or Shanahan tree there that I think could be potential options as well. I think this is a solid list here. I'd be happy with any of the names on this list. All right, guys, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments section, who do you want to be the next Steelers offensive coordinator, because it sounds like, hallelujah, Matt Canada is going to get fired. I don't want to jinx it, but it's looking like it's going to happen, and I am very happy about that, guys. All right, so coming up, I'm going to tell you which linebacker the Steelers signed yesterday to the 53-man roster and how he can help the Steelers potentially get to the playoffs. But before that, let's have a word from our sponsor at Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill here, guys. It's an app that I've been using here for about a month now, and it's saved me a bunch of money on my Christmas shopping. I'm somebody that I start using a monthly subscription, guys, and I think I'm going to use it all the time, and then a year or 2 years down the line, I'm just not using it, and I'm still paying for it, and that's just not good, okay? So I love using this app. It's called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, and the app shows you all of your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't even know that you were paying for, and you may even find that you've been double charged for a subscription like I was. I was paying for 2 Netflix accounts. To cancel a subscription on the Rocket Money app, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest for you. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/Steelers Talk to help out the channel, but also help your pocketbook. It's helped me save a bunch of money. Inflation's tough on everybody's pocketbook, guys, so it's always great to have a little bit of money saved up there. Every dollar counts. So go ahead and go to rocketmoney.com/Steelers Talk to help out the channel a little bit, but also to help your financial situation. Okay, so last night, the Steelers signed Tae Crowder, a veteran linebacker, a really interesting player, and they poached him off of the New York Giants practice squad, and I think that he's a pretty solid player. This is a good pickup for the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion. He was a 7th-round pick by the New York Giants in 2020. He has 31 career starts. I mean, they got a guy that has some playing experience this late in the season. That's always a plus. He was a full-time starter last year. He's been kind of on and off for the Giants this year. Hasn't been a great, graded player by, Pro Football Focus. He's not, an elite linebacker that they brought in late in the season, guys. That's not what he is. But, he's had some tackles, right? He's had some experience. We know that he handles his business on the National Football League stage. We know that he can handle himself against NFL offenses. And I like this move, guys. Crowder will provide the Steelers some depth. He's not going to hit the field all too often, in my opinion, especially early on, like this Sunday. He'll probably be on the field, and he will probably play a rotational role, maybe. But, he's just he was brought in to give the Steelers some depth. Let's take a look at the Steelers linebacker depth chart. And there was actually a bit of a switch here this past week. Robert Spillane played every single defensive snap last week against the Raiders. It seems like he has surpassed Devin Bush on the depth chart. Myles Jack is obviously still dealing with that groin injury, but Spillane played more snaps than Devin Bush, so that's why we elevated him to LB2 on our depth chart here. But Devin Bush still in the lineup there. Robinson's still in there, and now Tae Crowder goes into the mix now that Marcus Allen had bicep surgery because of that injury that he suffered against the Raiders this past week. So go ahead, guys, and go and like this video right now to help us welcome Tae Crowder to the Steelers family. He's going to be wearing number 54, so watch out for him on the field this Sunday night against the Ravens. And like this video to help welcome Crowder to Pittsburgh. All right, now some really big injury news that's going to potentially affect the Steelers' playoff chances this week. Okay, so Lamar Jackson is likely going to be out this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football, and this is obviously huge. Tyler Huntley has not played well against the Steelers. Not that Lamar has played all that well either, but I would still much rather deal with Tyler Huntley than Lamar Jackson, even if Jackson is hobbled. So it looks like that he's going to be out. It's not confirmed, but he hasn't practiced yet this week, and that's not a good sign for Jackson to play. He's going to be likely out. And then Tua Tagovailoa, the Miami Dolphins quarterback, he's also going to be out this week with a concussion against not against Seattle. They're playing the Patriots this week, I believe, not Seattle. That graphic's wrong. My apologies, guys. But he's going to be out this week. That's huge because the Steelers need Miami to lose. It's going to be Teddy Bridgewater under center for Miami. And then Mike White will play this week, and they are playing Seattle. So that's where the graphic mixed up there. But Mike White will play this week, and that's not great for the Steelers because they need the Jets to lose this week against Seattle. And Mike White's been pretty good, or at least better than Zach Wilson. So this could be a big factor here, and if the Steelers make it to the postseason here, because They need Baltimore, obviously. Obviously the Steelers need to win. And then they also need Miami to lose to New England this week, and they need the New York Jets to lose to Seattle. They need all three of those things to stay alive and keep their playoff hopes going into Week 18 against the Cleveland Browns. And, with Tua out with the Miami game, that really helps their chances. And then, Seattle and New York is going to be a game to watch, right? Geno Smith versus Mike White, that Jets defense, Sauce Gardner. The Steelers need the Jets to lose, and they need the Dolphins to lose, and then obviously they need to win on Sunday Night Football. But let me know in the comment section right now, will Pittsburgh's playoff hopes be alive by next week? They need those three things to happen. Type A if you think that they'll still be alive by next week, or type D if you think their playoff hopes will officially be dead. All right, now some final notes before we wrap up shop here. Cameron Hayward won AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. He was an absolute beast against the Raiders on Christmas Eve. He was carrying that Franco Harris flag onto the field pregame. That just fired him up, man, and he was just playing like the all-pro that we know Cam Hayward to be. He's been one of the best interior defensive players in the National Football League for a long time. It was great to see him have a Defensive Player of the Week performance last week. And then Ahkello Witherspoon returned to practice off of IR, right? He's been dealing with that hamstring injury. Hopefully he can come back in a backup role here pretty soon, even though he hasn't had a great year. And then the Steelers signed a safety, Scott Nelson, to the practice squad, just an additional kind of safety now that Trey Norwood is dealing with a hamstring issue himself. And then also another additional note before we started filming this, Cam Sutton, it was released that he did not practice today as he's dealing with an issue as well. We will monitor Sutton's status as the week goes on. All right, guys, before I say goodbye for the day, go ahead and interact with me on Twitter or Instagram. Go follow me. Send a question to me. I love answering your guys' questions. So go to my Twitter here at Jack_Sperry, or go to my Instagram, my football Instagram at sparedog.football. So those are the two places that you can reach me best. If you have a question, go ahead and DM me. Go ahead and shout me out. I love talking with you guys. I love talking Steelers. I love talking football. And you guys are the reason why I do this. You guys are the best. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for today's show. Steeler Nation for life, all right? This is a fantastic community of Yinzers, which is why you should be subscribed. But if you made it to the end of the video, you are a real Yinzer, and you are fantastic. So go ahead and go in the comment section and put SN4L, and that, of course, stands for Steelers Nation for life, guys. All right, Yinzers, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks for everyone that made it to the end of the video. And until next time, guys, peace.